Welcome, welcome once again to Platform and Possibilities. I'm Corinne Phipps Benjamin, and I am very delighted today to share with you on this platform one lady by the name of Venetta Zakers, who is the founder and visionary of Zakers Affinity Causes.
Yes.
Welcome, Venetta. Thank you so much for taking some time to have a chat with us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Vanetta, I see that you're a daughter of the soil of St. Kitts and you were once a beauty queen. I say once a queen, always a queen, Vanetta. A model, a poet, and a long-standing youth advocate on a mission to reach, to inspire, to support, and empower disadvantaged children and their families right there in St. Kitts and Nevis. You know, and when I look at your bio and have had the conversation with you, I pretty much wanted to know, and this is a very, very, worthy cause that you've spearheaded, but where did this thought process come from, and what started your interest in supporting young girls and families in St. Kitts and Nevis?
Well, I can say without a doubt that it is my passion and the energy that flows through me, which is fueled with compassion. It's, my passion and the energy that I put forth determined my path and my current stage in life. I felt that some of our girls did not realize that they cannot perfect themselves if they are lost walking in someone else's path. The potential within our nation's girls or even boys cannot be discovered if they are not willing to journey within themselves to create themselves. And yes, that might be a solitary journey, I know. But you cannot, and they need to realize that you cannot discover your true potential if you choose to reign in the prison that you create for yourself or the circumstances that you determine is your prison. They need to shake the bars of insecurity, disability, poverty, abuse, inequality, and learn to love the rattle of that song. For it's high time that they themselves, society, and the world at large know that they refuse to be conformed or defined or confined by their current situations. So I wanted, and I chose rather to assist in that regard. I envisioned and brought forth into fruition a program that is multifaceted, empowering, and a program that would on an annual basis create interventional forums, occupational training skills, basic education, and leadership development counseling, which is part of my commitment to not only provide feminine products, but to also assist with an early intervention framework geared towards nurturing their passions, their goals, their aspiration, and to hopefully curb the cradle to juvenile delinquency and prostitutional pipeline. I wanted to create a system where there is one less teen mom, one less high school dropout, one less juvenile delinquent, and one less female without a voice.
Well, you definitely have a powerful voice and so passionate, Vanetta. The passion is clear. And for me, I'd want to know, and I'm sure our listeners would want to know, how far back you can speak to your interest in outreach and serving young girls.
Wow, how far back?
Yes.
Well, I can say that it probably started while I was in primary school, actually, and it was brought forth by a commercial. When I tell persons that, they would be like, a commercial? But in truth and in fact, I found that passion that was inside of me for compassion was stirred or moved by that commercial. Back then, there was always these commercials that would come on late at night that with 1 cent, with a few cents per month or with $1 a month, you can assist a child or make a difference in this child. And I saw that commercial one evening after my mom had, sent me off to bed. And I was there in silence, just looking at it. And that stirred something within me, and I, without knowing that, without her knowing that I was standing behind her, I said, why don't you just give, they're just asking for a little bit. And it was just this look on her face that was like, and then she then said, when you get older, if you want to give, you can give. And at that time, it didn't strike me as if, why, if I'm in a position or if someone is in a position to do something, why not do it? Why turn a blind eye? If it's only going to cost you just that much, which is not much, why not do it? And that never, left me. And throughout the years as I grew, I would always be, this is what's happening. There's nothing that I could do. I felt myself confined into that small space, my small body, unable to do what I wanted to do. And as I grew, I was determined that the moment I had a firm footing, I was going to make that difference, regardless of any obstacles that would come my way. I was going to make that difference.
Yes, and obviously now you're doing just that. Would you say that you were prompted or your spirit was ignited by your environment where you grew up to help others, especially young people?
I wouldn't say. I think it was just something that was within me.
Okay.
I find that what I believe is that there are things that could motivate you to take action, but it's discipline and the adequate amount of influence, and that has to come from within, that can bring forth what you want to put out into the world. And that is what I did.
Right. So there was something about girls that attracted your interest. You wanted to make a difference there. Explain to us how Zakers Affinity Causes came about, with that focus being on girls. How did that come about?
Zakers Affinity Causes came about because of my innate personality. I would tell individuals, I am a rebel, I am a bad influence, and I am a female servant leader that despises confrontation. And persons would look at me like, and I dare say that, yes. In a society that profits, or rather a world that profits from self-doubt, loving myself, my imperfections, and the lengthened shadow, which is my history, was considered an act of rebellion. So yes, I am a rebel. I encourage girls to develop a sense of self-efficiency, a positive mindset, and enable them to develop themselves, become better learners. Hence, strengthening their prospects of gaining higher attainment. So suited rats, socioeconomic snakes, and even hell itself would scold me because I am brazenly a bad influence. I separate myself from societal influences that pivots females against each other by aspiring to be selfless, empathetic, authentic, and thus I find myself to be a female servant, or rather a servant leader that despises confrontation, because I want to see each and every woman rise. And so my endeavors over the years since 2012 when I discreetly began assisting individuals, has flourished over the years, from volunteering to hosting wellness sessions, visiting the imprisoned, the female inmates, food distribution, clothing distribution, anonymous distribution, and finally the inception of Zakers Affinity Causes in 2016, which in itself continues to evolve. At present, we have 3 programs, namely Reach, Inspire, Support, and Empower St. Kitts and Nevis, or RISE SKN for short, which is the flagship of Zakers Affinity Causes. And this program encompassed everything that I did on my own before the inception of ZAC. So it's an umbrella of equity initiatives which provide support and assistance to women and children that are destitute, in prison, affected by poverty, abuse, or any factor that hinders their advancement. We mobilize our resources to aid each individual on a case-by-case basis according to their current need. May it be clothing, food, temporary shelter, household items, or even in counseling. And then I brought forth ABC Basics. Now, this is geared towards promoting equality, equal education, opportunities for those underserved children of our nation. We provide school supplies and learning tools to institutions so they can be better equipped to effectively and efficiently teach. And our underprivileged students so they can actively learn, enhance their self-esteem, and also their chance of succeeding. And I must add, this project also launched a summer breakfast program this year, which provides students with breakfast items that is much needed during this time away from school when the access to school meals programs is not available. And then finally, my dear to confront society as I speak. This program, Project Dignity SKN, dear to address issues surrounding adolescent girls. We are too reticent to the topic and the presence of period poverty and emotional resuscitation penurity among the girl child. So Project Dignity was launched. And Project Dignity is a multifaceted program dedicated towards promoting and improving menstrual hygiene and feminine health among the female adolescent. So it also incorporates self-development course, wellness activities that encompasses emotional resuscitation, intellectual, physical, social, spiritual wellness, all of which are designed to improve their well-being and productivity. This program also encompassed skill-based learning that is meant to ideally couple the predominance of traditional professional expectations, which limits the scope of our girls' careers and, in my opinion, diminishes the prospect for learners with challenges or the non-conventional student. We aim to open the conversation and the prospects so they are aware that their skills can perhaps create niche solutions, or their passions could be used to create, or creativity in itself or technological knowledge can generate incomes or even create new industries that can become engines for our nation's future growth. So that in itself is Zakers Affinity Causes.
Right. A vast span of
yes,
aspect of educating and caring for girls and families. I'm curious as to how you're able to manage this all alone? Are you
Oh,
with
I am. I am definitely not
a team
alone.
of volunteers?
Yes, we are a all volunteer um, run initiative. We mobilize, we have different volunteers for different programs that dedicate their efforts and their time to assist. So when we have certain initiatives or certain projects that need to be executed, I am happy to always say that we do have individuals, dedicated individuals that would come forward and put that foot forward and say, I'm here to assist. Where do you need me? That actually gives me hope itself in society. You know, that persons are willing to take their time out, being knowing that they're not paid to do these initiatives.
Right. I see that last month.
Yeah.
Well, earlier this month, October 11th, we celebrated the International Day of the Girl, and you were over the top busy with projects and girl talk. There were quite a few activities happening. Where did that land you in terms of promotion of the work that you do, and what next for Zakers Affinity Causes?
Well, I must say, one of the things that promotion is not my major concern in doing my endeavors. My endeavors are strictly selfless in that I wish to make a difference and impart hope into our nation's girls. So when we actually mobilize and aim to execute our projects, we don't do it with the notion that I need the publicity or the promotion. We do it with the aim of reaching those individuals that need that voice, that need to hear what we have to say. In regards to the future of Zakers Affinity Causes, I must say that with our avid volunteers and the willingness of the parents to allow us to assist them and also assist their girls, it's pretty positive. I'm happy to say. We have a number of other initiatives that's coming next month that I'm definitely looking forward to. And again, with our volunteers, I am certain that these would be executed
Right.
effectively and efficiently.
Good. Good. In terms of the International Women's Day, we know that there is a different energy in terms of celebrating women. What are you hoping to accomplish in terms of celebrating girls, given that it's our girls who will eventually become women, and in some spaces there isn't as much, not just celebration but attention given to some of the causes, that some of the needs that you mentioned here.
Mhm.
What's your ultimate vision for how that celebration and awareness looks for girls as it currently looks for women?
Our sole aim, as I mentioned, is to give these girls a voice, to let society realize that they first have to nurture these girls, nurture that plant or that seed in order for it to flourish into that sturdy, strong tree that would shade the nation. That is my vision and my take on all of this. We expect that the women, when they've reached adulthood, or the girls when they reached adulthood, that they would be fined or molded to impart or impact or rule or lead, rather, the families, communities, or even some of the workplaces. But the foundation, where is the foundation? We fail to realize that it first has to start with our girls in order for us to elevate these women that we so passionately advocate for. We need our girls to have a voice. We need our girls to look forward to a positive future.
Right.
We need to shelter and nurture them. And that is what we aim to do and what we aspired to do during our celebration of International Day of the Girl Child.
Very good, very good. Well, listen, with a partner like Venetta and the Zakers Affinity Causes, I am convinced, I'm confident that the advocacy will continue, because this is what you clearly represent. It's your passion. It clearly excites you, and I cannot imagine anything but an upward trajectory in terms of the work that you're doing for the girls and for the organization. The one thing I have to talk about, because I see your passion and I'm like, I know you work, but I know there's a lighter side to Venetta. One fun fact about you that maybe a lot of people don't know, aside from the fact that you work really hard and are passionate about the causes that you're passionate about, share with us a fun fact about Venetta, something that's on the lighter side of, the hardworking person everybody sees every day.
Oh, wow. What I really don't even know what to say. My son, I would say, could definitely reveal everything. That's a lighter side of me. Oh my gosh. I would say that other than the fact that I consider myself to be a super mom, a fierce mom. My son, he tends to be like, "Mommy, did you forget?" And I will be like, "It's right there." "But Mommy, didn't you?" "It's right there." "But Mommy, can I?" Already did that. So he was like, "How do you do that?" And I was like, "I'm your mom."
That's awesome. Eyes in the back of your head, that powerful intuition.
Yeah. So yeah, and I would definitely say that despite everything that happens, despite my involvement in Zakers Affinity Causes, I do have a lighter side, and that is dedicated towards my son.
Good.
And my intuition towards him.
There you go. Well, before we run away, because we always pride ourselves as a platform that shares with others, in inspiring, informing and empowering. These are some of the the values that we hold true to on this platform. So before we say goodbye, what's your takeaway for people over there who listen to us? And are interested in serving, they have a cause but don't know exactly what direction to take that cause. They want to volunteer more, especially for younger people. What takeaway would you give to others who are interested in the work that you do, whether it's in supporting you or leading their own volunteer program? What's your takeaway?
I would definitely say to them, let your mess as you age be your message. Often persons will say, but I have nothing to offer, I have nothing to give. You have a voice, you have a history. Your mistakes in which you've made throughout your life, the way that you overcome them, the way that you have now established yourself can be your message. Never doubt your capabilities. You are always an avenue and can be an outlet, a positive outlet for our girls and even our boys. So regardless that you may think that you have nothing to offer, you yourself as an individual have an abundance. You just have to tap into that resource, which is yourself, and put it forth to help our future generation. That would definitely be my takeaway for them.
Phenomenal message. Wonderful. And, thanks so much, Venetta, for affording us the opportunity to chat with you, tap your brain, understand your passion and excitement for service and for young girls and for your country and for those near and dear to you. You are indeed an inspiration. And I have to say thank you. Do you mind sharing quickly the best handles, contact numbers to reach out to Zakers Affinity Causes?
Yes. Anyone that is desirous of volunteering or even contributing to our efforts in any way, they can always contact us via email at zaccauses@gmail.com or our contact number 1-869-663-2891. Or you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Drop us a message, drop us a comment. We would always love to hear from you and find ways in which we can improve our involvement within society.
Beautiful message. Thank you so much, Venetta. I'm so happy we were able to do this. Until next time.